We need to tap into our innate power. There is power that is within us. Each and every one of us has got that power that God has actually given to you, and that is why God says He has given us the power to create wealth. Sure. So the Queen Power helps you to tap into those strong points or those gems that are hidden within yourself, and so that you can be able to take those gems and polish them and turn them into revenue. You see, you go through self-awareness, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-actualization into that manuscript. You're able to read things like that. You're able to 4 levels that we are using to decode. I call it decoding your story. So when you decode your story, you begin to understand the reason or the purpose for what happened to you. Now, this is where healing comes, because now when you begin to understand why did you go through what you went through, now that you understand the reason, you understand the purpose, you're like, oh wow. Now pain begins to change from pain, which is why I also use this line to say, you turn your pain to power and profit. So once you know that the reason why I grew up in a domestic violent family is this, then you begin to appreciate the lessons. Then you are overlooking the pain now. You appreciate the lessons, because if you didn't go through that pain, you wouldn't have learned the lessons that you have. So what happens when people are healing, it's when now they are embracing the lessons. They appreciate the lessons. I was in Zambia.
It's every position, no one can stop me. When I jump, you just run it for me. And don't I see you gotta notice. Bang bro, bang bro, bang bro. It's every position, no one can stop.
Dreamers, how are you there? As you know, we are back with another episode, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, I don't know how to introduce you. Marage, I've written here my intro, you understand? So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another episode of Avenues of Dream. And you always know this is the place where dreams come to life. So, it is both an honor and privilege to introduce our distinguished guest today, a beacon of excellence. And she's not merely a figurehead, but a transformative force in the realms of empowerment, leadership, and spiritual guidance. And she helps individuals turn their expertise into revenue in a way. So, join me today. We're not only going to be talking about empowerment, however, she's a catalyst, a pastor, a prolific author. She seamlessly blends her wealth of professional expertise with a deep spiritual foundation, creating a harmonious symphony of purpose-driven leadership. Join us as we embark the journey into the extraordinary life and insights of Dr. Mabel Baloyi. Doctor, you understand? So, Leo title Leo Doctor. So, a trailblazer as she joins us today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
And I'm so
it's good to meet you finally.
Thank you so much for giving me the time and day. It's such an honor, and growing up very for what I'm being Christian, so this is what KCT. Back then it was called KCT, and now it's Life Community Change. It's Life Community Bible Church.
Guys, I found my son again.
for sure. So today we'll be discussing everything. Purpose. Especially today, it's turn your purpose into revenue. Turn your purpose into revenue. Don't forget that. So before we start, Ma, how are you? How are you? I started to laugh. I see you looking fresh. You looking nice. You smell good.
I smell good too.
So
Oh
good
my
too.
God. Well, I'm very much excited to meet you. It's not like I'm meeting you for the first time,
For
but
sure,
as
for
you
sure.
know, I was not recognizing you because you're still a young boy, you know, but I'm so happy to meet you. Like I told you that, you know, this meeting has made my year, you know, it has made my year. Meeting you, doing great things like the things that you are doing,
For sure.
you know, this is what I love. When I see people doing this, I know that you are actually walking in your purpose and you are making sure that you live your life to the fullest, you unleash your potential, and you are not just sitting there being bored and say, I've got nothing to do. You've created something for you to do, and everybody else can do what you're doing.
For sure.
So this is how I am today.
sure,
I'm
for
happy
sure.
to see you doing what you're doing.
Thank you very much. It means a lot, especially coming from you. And now me myself, I'm gonna be taking notes. And I'm here for myself. Yeah, understand. Even though I'm here for the viewers, I'm here for myself.
Yeah.
So before we get into, I just want us to get a brief background here, a brief background. Let's not go deep. However, I just want to find out, where did you grow up and how was your upbringing, and yeah. So before we start here, where did you grow up?
I grew up in a very, very small township in the northwest, in Rustenburg,
Sure.
Klabani, GG location.
Shout out to Gigi location.
From Kasi, GG location. That's where I come from. That's where I was born.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how was it growing up? Did you have a tough background? Because seeing a strong woman today, people think maybe you've had it easy growing up.
Right.
Yeah. So how was it growing up?
Yeah, it was not an easy road. It was tough. There were mountains, there were high waters, fires. I grew up in a domestic violent family. So, you know, life was not really smooth. And everything that I have experienced in life brought me here actually to where I am today. Because most of the times the things that are happening to us in life, we happen to think that God doesn't love us and, you know, God loves other people better, more than us. Why do we go through such things in life? So everything that I've been through helped me to become the coach that I am today, because I look back into stories. Even when I work with people, your story is very important to me, because from your story it is where we can find some guidelines as to why are you here, you know, because everything under the sun has got purpose. So I grew up in that kind of background where I had to experience domestic violence in the family, rape, you know, rejection, you know, discrimination. I've experienced most of these things in life, and that background shaped me. I believe that if I did not go through such challenges, I wouldn't be the person that I am. And sometimes I tell people that I thank God for the rough times. I get lonely when there's no pain. Pain is good for us, but we don't want it, you know. Pain is good for us because from pain we learn a lot of things. It presents an opportunity to learn certain things in life. So I didn't grow up in a lot of people, when they look at me, they think I grew up in a very nice family, in a rich family. I got everything that I wanted. No, I started working, and you won't believe this. I started working at the age of 16. I got saved at the age of 14, but I started working at the age of 16. I was still at school. And my dad was saying that as the elderly person in the family, I have to go and work and take care of my siblings. So I was not actually supposed to go to school according to my dad. Right? I was not supposed to go to school. So I started working when I was still very small, and I made sure that I pay my school fees, I buy myself things. There was a teacher, oh, I love my teacher. There was a teacher, and I've been looking for her.
Yeah.
I hope that people that are listening, they will connect me with my biology teacher.
For sure.
You see,
For sure.
Oskiti Masiangwa, that's her name, right? This teacher took care of me when I was going through a lot of things in life. She would get people who are ahead of me to give me shoes, to give me textbooks. If they are doing, we were doing standards by that time,
Yeah.
no grades and whatever. Was it standards?
Yeah, standards, yeah,
Standard
for sure.
4, standard
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
So when a person is doing standard 6 and I'm doing standard 5, my teacher will get that person to give me their textbooks so that I can use them. My teacher will share with me her lunchbox. My teacher, when I left school, I remember that I left school because it was too tough, you know. So I left school. I was doing part-times where I say I started working when I was 16. I went to work, and my teacher realized that I'm no longer coming to school. I've gone to work. Then she knew where I was working as well. Then she came to my workplace, like that kind of a teacher. She came to my workplace and she spoke to my manager. She said, can you release this child? Can she go to school? Just have her over the weekends. So then she narrated the story to my manager. My manager understood, and I went back to school, and she promised me that she will take care of this, she will take care of that. And then on weekends, then I was going back to work. But I really want to, I'm hijacking your show now, but I just want to give a very big shout out to Oskiti Masiangwago. She's the best. She's the best ever. And Oskiti, I'm looking for you. Oskiti, I'm looking for you. Yeah.
For sure. And I can imagine like growing up at 14, working. And would you say that having to take care of your siblings, I mean, at a young age, would you say those were, or maybe that's the, how can I put it, like, is that where the leadership comes from? That stem from there, because having to take care of your siblings at that very young age, like it must come with a lot, like a lot, especially from within. Like you say, you come from a very not so nice family. Understand? So would you say that the leadership it's
Yes. I mean, for all of us, if we look at our lives from childhood, leadership starts from there. If you want to know, you know, what is it that you are very, very good at? What is it that you excel in? What is it that you can do without struggle? Go back to your childhood. When we were growing up, I remember that I would mimic my mother and father and pretend that I'm the mother and you would be the father, and we are playing as Mankwantwane, and then we are cooking, you know. So I would be teaching people how to be a mother, a father. You see where it comes from. I would be teaching people how to cook, how to prepare, how to serve the father, like all of those things. So and you know, even when I have to answer your question, taking care of my siblings from that young age, plus the way I was playing, teaching people how to do things, I think that's where leadership is coming from. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's almost like something that is very much natural.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a second nature.
Second nature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Second nature.
No, I love that. And can you share with us the journey? Can you share the journey that led you to becoming a sought after empowerment and an inspirational catalyst?
Sure, that is like that question is a very nice question. I like it because the things that we're doing are not just coming from a vacuum.
Sure.
Right? So like I said earlier on, I grew up in a domestic violent family. So one day when my father beat my mother and she was lying on the floor, on the pool of blood, and most of the time we will talk to my mother and say, if this man is doing this to you and he's doing this when he's drunk, why aren't you beating the hell out of him yourself? Because when he was beating my mother and even us,
Sure.
he would do it without mercy. So most of the time we will ask my mother to do something about it, to go to the police. Her friends will also advise that she should go to the police. And my mother would be like, no, I cannot do that. I need to be submissive to my husband, which I subscribe to 100%. However, the abuse was too much. She needed to do something. And that's when my heart was so painful to say, my mother needs to be empowered. And her friends are trying to empower her. Her friends are trying to give advices, but she is not taking those advices. And that's when I felt this deep sense of dissatisfaction about women that are not empowered. Then I had a burden to empower women. At first, I didn't know how I want to empower them. I didn't know what to do with them. I did a lot of things with women. I would teach women even to make their own clothes. I'll teach women how to do catering, how to start small businesses. Like this thing that I'm doing today, it's something that I've been doing all the time. But as I continue to do it, I get more focused, and I get to identify my target audience that I need to work with. But before I was just doing with anyone and every woman, showing them how to do certain things in life.
Wow.
So yeah, that is part of the journey.
I love it. And when you inspire some like other women or fellow women, it gives you a certain, I don't know, like it gives you that joy. You understand?
Yes.
Like, it's like helping someone in need. You understand? And
I call it a deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction.
I can understand. Wow, we are learning.
Yeah, that's how I feel actually.
Sure,
after I've
sure.
helped someone with something,
For sure.
I'm like, wow. And I that's why reigning your purpose is very much important to me, because I have a tagline and I have a slogan.
Sure.
The tagline is partnering with you in bringing your purpose to life, and then the slogan is you reign, I reign, we all reign. So when I see you reigning, it gives me a deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. When I see you walking in your purpose, I coached you and you are going out there and you're doing amazing things. Even if you are the one that is, that people are seeing, you're doing nice things, I'm happy with you, because when you are reigning, I'm reigning. If you are not reigning, it means I'm failing in what I'm supposed to do, in my assignment. You've got to reign.
All of us. And off camera, you mentioned something about, you mentioned Uti, you even if you don't have a purpose, or even if one individual doesn't have, or maybe doesn't have a clue of what their purpose is, you bring that purpose into life. And so let's say for instance, for someone like me, doesn't know what their purpose is in life, just wake up, you said you look into their stories. How do you identify that purpose?
Sure. Wow. It's I think I take about 12 weeks
Sure.
working with someone to be sure 100% sure about what their purpose in life is. So what we do, number one, we look into, I start them off with my module 1 of my program, of my signature program. We look into the 7 kingdom laws that govern purpose. I won't give them to you because I know somebody will be writing a book. These people, they can
give us
snatch ideas.
Can you give us at least one?
It's not about actually them telling me, but it's about writing it, connecting with themselves from childhood, connecting with their stories, and after that, they share with me because it's a group session, so they share with me on a one-on-one session. And it is in that one-on-one session that I get to hear most stories of the people. And then we have 4 levels that we are using to decode. I call it decoding your story. So when you decode your story, you begin to understand the reason or the purpose for what happened to you. Now, this is where healing comes, because now when you begin to understand why did you go through what you went through, now that you understand the reason, you understand the purpose, you're like, oh wow. Now pain begins to change from pain, which is why I also use this line to say, you turn your pain to power and profit. So once you know that the reason why I grew up in a domestic violent family is this, then you begin to appreciate the lessons. Then you are overlooking the pain now. You appreciate the lessons, because if you didn't go through that pain, you wouldn't have learned the lessons that you have. So what happens when people are healing, it's when now they are embracing the lessons. They appreciate the lessons. I was in Zambia, I think it was 2018, and I was talking in that conference. I said to people, I love my pain. And people were like, how do you love your pain? How does a person love pain? Because when we are going through pain, we cry. No, pain is painful. When I go through it, it's not like it's nice, I'm enjoying it. The reason I love it is because of the lessons. Because I see that if I did not go through this pain, this lesson I wouldn't have learned. If I didn't go through pain, there would be no rain in your purpose. This rain in your purpose came about because I had to decode my story. And it is the Lord who helped me to decode, actually. You know, the step-by-step guide that I share with my students is what I personally went through, and it worked for me because I came to this aha moment that I used to hear people talking about and saying, and then I had my aha moment, and I'm like, when am I going to have my aha moment? What is that? What is an aha moment? You know, and then,
experience.
Now I want to experience that aha moment. And one day, as I was wrestling with God, fighting, asking Him from my childhood, I've experienced this, I've experienced that. I mean, really, God, you don't love me, you don't care about me. And you know, God pointed me to my expertise. This is why I teach people how to take their expertise and turn them into revenue. But even before that, I learned that all of these things that happened to me, they were for a purpose. All things work together for good for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. So I realized all of these things are for a purpose. So that is what we do on the second part of the program to help people to find their purpose. So they really realize that, no man, I went through this because I needed to learn these lessons. I always tell the people even at church that when I left my job in 2013, I asked God that in the next 2 years, I would love to become a millionaire. Guess what God did to me? When you ask God for things, you must know you're signing up for something horrible before you get that thing that is good that you are asking for. Because God is looking and say, oh, okay, my child, you want to be a millionaire? All right, that's fine. I'm gonna teach you something that is gonna take you there. So when I asked God to help me become a millionaire in 2 years, I ran into liquidation and insolvency. I lost everything that I had. You know, I had no money. I wished I could see 10 rands. You know, I had nothing. I was left with nothing. But the journey that I went through, it actually helped me to do the things that I'm doing today. You understand? Because now I'm working my way towards that, and I'm working slowly towards that thing that I've asked God to do. And you know, the biggest lesson that I've learned in that process was that if you want to become a millionaire, you also need to consider people that are not at the level where you are, and learn to give and help those people that are in need, just as much as you were in need and there were people who were helping you. This is what God wanted you to learn, that when other people are in need, help them.
Wow, such an inspiring story. But I want us to touch the season as entrepreneurs. We go through seasons, different seasons. There's, you quit your job and you're like, in the next 2 years, I'm sure you had a vision board, a colorful vision board, like it was as big as this house. And you were there planning. 2 years down the line, millionaire, understand? So, what was the biggest lesson during the insolvency and going to filing for bankruptcy and everything? What was that biggest lesson? That biggest lesson as an entrepreneur with yo, I went about to go entrepreneurship.
It's true. It's true. My biggest lesson was that you need to put in the work. It doesn't come easy. We pray, we have faith, and the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you've got to put your hands to work. God says He blesses the works of our hands. So I've learned that I have to work, and not necessarily to work hard, but obviously when you are starting and putting systems and processes in place, you work hard. But if you are wise enough to put systems and processes that will actually reduce the hard work, and you begin to work smart, that is the thing. But I've learned mostly to put my hands to work. Secondly, I've learned to be patient. There are many people that will tell you that I can teach you how to make money in the next 2 weeks, in the next whatever. Any rich person will tell you that they work hard to get to that stage where they are now becoming millionaires, So that is the lesson. Patience, work. And and I think the other thing is focus. Because sometimes when you are doing what you are doing, and you realize, but I'm not really making money, I'm not monetizing this thing, I don't have money at all, and I'm working hard, then you say, what else can I do? And then you change, you go on to the other thing. What I believe in is that I should focus more on my message. I can change the strategy, but I must not change the message. I must work hard on making sure that I grow in this journey of purpose that I am in, and help others to gain their clarity of purpose and to begin to turn their stories and their expertise into revenue. You see? So those 3 lessons: work, patience, focus. Consistency as well. Yes.
I hope you've heard that, and I hope you're taking notes, because today there's a lot of gems that are going to be dropped. So make sure the note and pad is available there. So as a change agent and voice of hope, how do you approach bringing messages of healing to diverse audience?
Yeah, I think what you're asking me now is what I've already said, that you know, the message that is changing audiences is the message of purpose, is the message that says know the reason why you are on this earth, because that is so transformational. I've seen a lot of people transforming once they understand what their purpose in life is. And I've also seen people who are thinking that because they're already doing something, they know what their purpose in life is. And I'm telling you the truth. Some came with, they already had their visions written down, and they were already doing certain things with other people outside there. But when they went through the process that I take people through in terms of finding purpose and transforming their lives, they actually realized that they were not clear about their purpose. They've been busy with a clue to their purpose, but they didn't really know exactly what their purpose in life is. Just like me, I was busy with the clue of my purpose. I was working with all the other women, doing all the other things, having all these things that I'm doing, but later on I realized, no, this is the group of people that I need to be working with, and this is the message that I need to be sharing with these people. You see, so those people, the people that came in, then they changed, they transformed.
Wow. I love it. I love that, man. I love what like everything you yenzayo, like it's inonkulunkulu phakathi. Everything ukhuluma inonkulunkulu phakathi, and
yes,
you can imagine ukuhlala nomuntu onjalo on a daily basis. So for abangani kunosisiqholi la hleli la. So I can imagine ukuthi yena nje ufila njani, like ukuhlala nomuntu like ucabanga ngale ndlela le every day, ukhuluma ngale ndlela le every day. It's so refreshing, man. You understand?
Yeah, it is. Are you inviting Tony to our podcast? Are you inviting her?
No, shout out to Tony, man. Shout out.
Yeah.
And you know, mentioning that you've been involved in so many, or you've been involved in so my next question would be like from how has this diverse experience shaped your perspective on leadership and empowerment? Since you've worked with various organizations and educational institutions at a multi-level, like
like you did.
Yeah.
What a question. What a wonderful question. I believe that if I did not work in those organizations, I wouldn't be equipped enough to do what I'm doing today. Like Usis Toli was also one of my students, right?
Sure.
Like the things that I'm talking to, she knows. I'm not making up stories and stuff like that. Yeah, and people do ask her because before they get to me, they talk to her and they say, but when they ask me, they say, where did you get such a person that knows this whole organization and knows all about you so much, you know? They say, she was my student. And you know, she paid. She did not come for free. She was paid. So she can tell you that the coaching is at another level. You get everything that you would get in an MBA class. I'm telling you. So for me to be able to bring out entrepreneurs and coaches that I bring out, is because of these organizations. I've learned so much from these organizations, and by the grace of God, I worked at higher managerial levels, including being a director of a particular, of a particular organization. You understand? So I was involved in strategic conversations in those organizations. I was involved in leadership conversations in those organizations, and I was most of the time we were also focusing more because they were also looking into education, training and development. So I know a lot about skills development, I know a lot about accreditation, I know a lot about assessments, I know a lot about facilitation, moderation. You see, that kind of language is the language that I have learned. And I remember when I was in Unilever, I was not necessarily working for Unilever. I was working for an organization called Dynamic Interventions. They were employed by Unilever as a consultant. They not necessarily employed, they were a consultant and an advisor for Unilever. Unilever wanted to change certain things by a certain period, and then we needed to come in and analyze things and assess things and give feedback and stuff like that. During that period, I learned so much, and it was during this time that we also had to train people, because Unilever wanted people to be at a certain level in preparation for the change that they are looking forward to. So I really have collected a lot of information, a lot of knowledge, a lot of insights in all of these organizations that I've worked in, and that is why I love teaching people to take their expertise and turn them into revenue. Because this is what I've done.
For sure.
This is what I did. I took my story, I took my expertise, and turned them into revenue.
Love it. I love it. So profound. So now out there, take your expertise and turn them into revenue. And remember the seven
kingdom laws that govern purpose.
Number one, to know thyself. Once you know thyself, then you know. So could you elaborate more on your role as a purpose strategist? But did we talk about that one? An online business. I didn't touch about it.
We did. We spoke about it. We spoke about it, but maybe I can touch on the second part of the online coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, because on the purpose strategist part, we've been explaining how I run my coaching and stuff like that. Then when it comes to online business, I actually help these people, the very same people, to start online businesses, because I run my business online. I get paid online. I don't get paid via the bank and stuff like that. I get paid online. So I show the coaches and the entrepreneurs, those that would love to run online businesses, to run their business online, and I teach them all the strategies, all the secret sources, all the secret sources, all the secret sources, because they're on my program. Then they get to learn as to how to set up online and how to communicate your message online and how to get clients online, because I get clients via my DMs and inbox, and people just come in and say, hey, I loved that post and please can you help me with this and that. And I teach people those strategies. Some of the things that we do as people that are running an online business is to give people certain things for free. And people don't understand. They will be saying, why are you always giving people for free? How are you making money? I'm making a lot of money. More than you coming up and say, hey, my price is 5,000 baht. You see. So I teach people all those secret sources as to how to run an online business. They actually set up their online platform. Well, I direct them to the platform that I use, because I know that platform better. So I direct them to that platform, and then they go in there, and then they can have their books downloaded, they can sell their books online, they can sell their coaching online, they can even sell their products that are tangible, you can sell them online and all of that. So that's the online business coaching part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for a typical, let's say, a typical guy or a classy trying to sell his t-shirt online, quickly come to you so that we can set up everything.
Yes.
So guys, I'm in the right place. Because now I want to make sure with you guys. So taking flyer high because I'm going to coach. So, yeah. So we are moving for sure. So your message is described as transformative, combining coaching, management, leadership expertise with biblical insights. Can you share a specific instance where you witnessed profound transformation through your message? One memorable moment.
One
Memorable moment. Yeah.
Well, I will not go far. I will not go far.
I see.
I will not go far. Tony is here. You know? And there are many memorable moments. And what blew my mind, I think it was last year when I had a group of students, 10 of them being bank managers. You know, being bank managers, and the message of leadership, the message of purpose, you know, the message of entrepreneurship, you know, that is built on the principles and the precepts of the Word of God. Change those people. You will be shocked that when some of the people come in, I don't know who they are. I don't know if they are Christians or not. And as you can see, my signature program is actually built on the 7 kingdom laws that govern purpose. And can you imagine these people coming from the banking sector? They come to my organization for coaching, and I start them off with self-identity. And when I talk about that, I take them to the scripture and I show them the reason why they need to be sure about who they really are. Because in order for them to be effective in life, they've got to connect with themselves. A lot of people are disconnected with themselves because they're trying to be Mabel, they're trying to be, you know, they're trying to be Tony. So they disconnect with themselves. And they expect themselves to be effective in what they're doing. As long as you have disconnected with yourself, you're going to continue to copy this and copy that and copy that. And the more you do that, then you lose your voice, right? You lose your voice. You've got to know who you really are, so that, and what your message is, so that you don't lose your voice. So I've seen these people transforming, and this we're talking about leaders. We're talking about leaders, bank managers who came and they listened to my message, and not only when they come for coaching, because even in the conference settings, I get to be invited to talk about leadership, I get to be invited to talk about strategy, you know, I get to be invited to talk about things that are business related. But as I talk about these things, there's no way I can say anything without referencing, you know, from the Bible, because the Bible has got everything. This is the best book ever, you know. It has got everything. The Bible talks about business, the Bible talks about leadership, the Bible shows us all of these things that we need to build our businesses on. So I've got a list of those. They're on my social media platforms. I would just put it out there and say, I've turned a bank manager into a business coach.
Can you kindly describe explain what's the difference between a mentor and a coach?
Yeah, a lot of people are confusing that. They don't understand.
They don't
understand.
As long as people coach, we think that's my mentor.
Yes, that's true.
Sure.
I just got such a request last week, you know.
Sure.
But I think, you know, even Tony can answer this because, you know, she went through my training.
Sure.
So the difference between a coach and a mentor is that a mentor is an expert in a particular field. So when you are looking for a mentor, you need to look at you need to look at their expertise. You need to look at what they have achieved, because you want them to help you to get to where they are. You know, as a mentee, you are looking at them that, I wish I could be like Mabel Baloyi. I wish I could do coaching like her. I wish I could be able to help people to transform like the way she's doing it. So you come to me because I'm an expert in that area. So I help you to build your business and become the coach that I am.
Sure.
But a coach is someone that is helping you to move from your current position to your desired destination. You understand? So you are coming to a coach because you have goals that you want to reach.
Sure.
You have things that you want to achieve. So you come to a coach and say, I need you to help me. That is why as coaches, we find out what your goals are. We use what we call the GROW model.
Sure.
You see, so the GROW model is helping us to first establish your goals. Then when we have established your goals, then we come to the reality check. We check where you are currently in terms of that goal that you want to achieve. So you see, so you tell me your goal, and after that we come back a little bit and say, what is the reality?
Sure.
Where are you?
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
in terms
Sure.
of achieving that goal, how far are you?
Yeah.
And then we work to close that gap between where you are and where you want to go. You see, so that's the difference between coaching and mentoring. Usually they're used interchangeably or they're used together, but they are not the same.
So would you say as an entrepreneur, I need both a coach and a mentor?
As an entrepreneur, you need three. You need a coach, you need a mentor, you need a sponsor. Okay, so a sponsor will put you out there, will mention you in the rooms where you are not able to get there. You see, so a sponsor is helping you to get all those opportunities that are out there when you know, a certain need or problem is mentioned in those rooms, and a sponsor is in there, and then they'll say, oh, I know Katleho, I know Katleho.
Sure.
You see, Katleho can help you solve this problem. And then you need a mentor, you need a coach.
Wow, yeah. Because I was actually, the reason why I'm asking is because I was listening to Who Was It There was a podcast that they did, mentor coaches and sponsors. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. Thank you so much. So yeah, Zulabos, you need mentor, you need a coach, and you need
a sponsor.
And a sponsor. Someone who's gonna mention your name when you're not there. Someone who's gonna make sure that you get that job, even if when I walk out or you get something, or if you want, I got the phone, you are gonna get it. So
yes.
Moving swiftly along, ne? So if okay, I think sorry. Okay, you damn. Okay, in the Italy, I'm going to show it. It's not there. So this. Okay. Okay, so you've authored books like Ignite Your Queen Power and She Reigns. How do this writing contribute to the empowerment of women and individuals seeking purpose?
You see, both of them, they speak to reigning your purpose. If you can look at them, we are reigning, we are queens, we are
For sure,
you know, we need to tap into our innate power. There is power that is within us. Each and every one of us has got that power that God has actually given to you, and that is why God says He has given us the power to create wealth.
Sure.
So the queen power helps you to tap into those strong points or those gems that are hidden within yourself, and so that you can be able to take those gems and polish them and turn them into revenue. You see, you go through self-awareness, self-esteem, self-confidence, you know, self-actualization into that manuscript. You're able to read things like that. You're able to understand that as a queen, you've got to ascend to your royal throne of purpose and reign in your purpose. So the two books they go together, because the other one, She Reigns, is talking more about my own experiences and how I got to reign in purpose because of those experiences. And it's encouraging women to see that everything that is happening in your life actually is pushing you to the higher level, to the higher dimension.
Sure.
You know, it's not something that is meant to take you down. It's not something that is meant to kill you. It is not something that is meant to destroy you. It's something that is meant to make you realize that God's plans are not to destroy you, but they are there to give you hope and the future. So, you know, usually we don't see the future in pain, but when you are reading these books, you will realize that no, the pain is necessary because there's future in pain.
I'm not sure, but you've mentioned pain like quite a few times since I've been here. And now it's I'm trying to look at my pain and like, hey, which pain can I tell me? Which pain? Because I'm trying to find my pain. What's the pain? Like, what's the
good question?
Because you've been mentioning pain, and in the Bible, I think they mention fear not like 365 times.
Right.
They mention it like 365 times every year, like 365 days.
Yes.
So I'm trying to find my pain. I am gonna find it. I find it. I'm gonna find my pain. So the reason why I'm mentioning that there's 365, it's because since I've been, you've been mentioning pain for the longest time, and every time we go through pain, we tend to fear.
Yes.
What if you understand? So fear not. Just know that pain. That pain is very crucial in your core.
It's important.
You understand? It's very crucial in your core. And wow, my God. Ukhona kanjani like anisitsheli ngani ukuthi ukhona kanjani anisitsheleni nathi sizokwazi ke ukuhlala nomama hle awukosana I must bring my baby ngizolala lapha phansi I need to grow like quickly
like speed of light.
Speed of light. So I'm noticing a lot of awards, accolades. I see there's two there. There's friends there. Congratulations.
Okay, at least you can see them. Sometimes it's like they're claiming things that we don't have. Okay.
No.
So
Wow.
actually bring one. Bring the vessels one.
Yeah, man, we see them.
I'll just, you just have to hold one.
No,
the vessels, you can read what it says.
So this says here, it reads Social Change and Impact Awards and Outstanding Female Leader Award.
Yeah.
It's from the Vessel of Virtue. What has this meant to you?
Wow. You know,
can
this...
you just put it here just for the sake of the podcast?
Yeah.
I understand.
And Precious Nyarambi, say thanks to me. I'm advertising you today.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, this made me feel so good that it, you know, the thing about things like this, they give you credibility.
Sure.
They give you confidence. They are saying to you, there are people who are watching, there are people who see what you're doing, there are people that appreciate what you're doing. When people are going to raise their hands and say, you know, for this award, we nominate this person, we nominate that other person. It says to you that people that you are working with, that you are making an impact in their lives, they appreciate you, you know. And, you know, just to offer up a little bit, it reminds me that when I finished the group, I think it was the group that Tony was in, when I finished that group, one of the students said to me, you know, I feel so guilty. I just feel like I did not pay you enough. I think that what you charged us was so little. And I feel guilty to move out and go and make an impact and make the kind of money that I'm going to make after going through you know, this process. And you know, that made me see how much impact I'm making in the lives of other people. And you know, that lady there, she paid me 8 times what she was paying me. 8 times what she was paying me per month, because I get the students are paying me on a monthly basis. She actually not even doubled that, you know, 8 times, right? And that was giving me a lot of confidence, and she even helped me to raise my prices.
Shout out to you, dear lady. We see you.
Dear lady, she knows herself. I could mention her name, but when she was doing that, she said it's an offering, and she doesn't even want me to talk about it. But I can tell you now, she's running successful businesses. She's doing so well. She started a ministry, you know. So that is the kind of impact that you make, and things like this, they give you confidence. When your students are appreciating the impact that you have made in their lives, it really gives you confidence. It says to you, you are on the right track and you're doing what God wants you to do.
For sure. Yeah? Wow. I hope you are listening, and I hope you are taking lessons. I don't know how many times I'm repeating this. So, if your awards were chapters in a book, which chapter would be the most unexpected plot twist, and what lessons did it bring?
If, just say that again.
Okay. If your awards were chapters in a book, which chapter would it be the most unexpected plot twist? And what lesson did it bring? You understand? This is a different kind of thing.
There's a certificate of this award in my office.
For sure.
This one, it speaks volumes. Because, and I tell you why I picked this one. There are ones that came earlier.
Sure.
But this one came about as a result of my work being seen on the social platforms. You understand? And most of the times, I was not the one talking. It was my students who were talking about how they experienced the coaching. So this is the chapter that I can blow it up and say, hey guys, if you don't read any other chapter in this book, read this one. Yes.
Yeah, this is a different kind of flex.
From vessels.
Yeah. Some people are flexing with their Tony. People are flexing with their iPhones. This is a different kind of flex. You understand now? This is a flex. Wow. And wow, like, oh guys, there's 4 awards there. Ne?
I think there's another one inside there. And there's another one.
There's so much, guys.
There's
so much. There's so much. Yo, there's so much. Wow. Wow. So, okay. The Vessel of Virtue Award. Ne? This one. Yeah. Okay. It recognizes you for social change.
Yes.
It recognizes you for social change. And you said, and we spoke about sponsors just now. We see the way your students were sponsoring you in the rooms that you were not in. Right.
Somehow, yes.
Somehow, to some extent, they played it.
They did,
yeah. I understand. And how do you see?
Teach your students.
Okay, how do you see entrepreneurship playing a role in socialite transformation?
One day we were having a celebration,
sure,
like an online graduation,
sure,
right? So
just before we continue, how does it play out? An online graduation?
we do it very, very nicely because we also, even if it's online, we do come together, we take pictures, students holding their certificates and stuff like that. You know, I wish we could, maybe I can share a picture. So they will be holding that, and then we do it online, and then they come out. We make sure that the individuals holding certificates, we play it like with the slides. The label moves, Tony moves, Katlaho moves, with your certificate, you're dressed nicely, you know. So, and then we have the program director, just like you do it physically, we have the program director. We have breaks, you know, it's very nice.
Okay. I'm sorry to just take you out.
So I was saying one day, when we were having that celebration, every single person that was talking it was the students, right? They were giving feedback.
Sure.
So each one of them were saying, I have discovered my purpose and now I am a business coach. I've discovered my purpose and now I'm a career coach. I've discovered my purpose and now I'm a purpose coach. I got a lot of those, okay? I've discovered my purpose and now I'm this and that. And of course, we forgot to bring books here. I've got books from my students that come and they actually become authors simply because of the stories. Because I said to you, we tell stories. So when we are telling stories, they feel like, I want to turn this into a book. So we've launched books, you know. So you can see there's a lot of social change that is happening. There's a lot of entrepreneurial change that is happening. People did not know before that they could be entrepreneurs, but when they go through the process, they realize, no, in order for me to share my message, I need to be an author, I need to be a speaker, I need to be a coach, I need to be a mentor, I need to be an entrepreneur, you see. So that's how all of these things are coming. But in that particular celebration, a comment was made, and the program director said, the government should know about what you are doing, because I'm listening to all these people and all of them are talking about finding purpose and becoming all of these things that are talking about. In fact, in our country, the issue of poverty can be dealt with if people could come to reign in your purpose, discover their purpose, and begin to start monetizing their expertise, their stories, their passion. You see, because everybody was now saying, I'm going out to the world and this is the difference that I'm going to make. So this is the change that we see. And they go out, they work in the communities, they work within the communities. You can see some of them doing some community workshops, and some of them are doing conferences, and they right inside the townships, and people are coming. Some of them are doing the philanthropic work. They go and give sanitary towels and things to the people in the community. And where are they coming from? From reigning your purpose. They have discovered themselves, they've discovered their purpose, and now they are making a difference in the world in different ways.
I love it. I love it. Now I'm gonna be your students. I am gonna be in the books soon. And you mentioned with you published books. We know what the Bible is your daily bread and butter each and every hour. Besides the Bible, which other book would you say you currently reading or you've read? Or maybe a book that you would recommend to an entrepreneurs out there listening to us right now?
The book that I'm reading is right next to my bed right now.
Sure.
It's the book that is talking about how big businesses prefer small business, because small business respond very quickly when there's a call for services or
or maybe sorry about that, or maybe a complaint, or we are very quick to go and provide that service. So it's a small business thinking big book. That's the title. Small business thinking big. So as a small business, you don't just think small, because big business actually prefers you. So you've got to think big, and you've got to make sure that you are putting in processes and systems in your small organization, your small business, to make sure that when big business is approaching you, you are well organized. You've got systems, you've got processes, you've got your proposals. They are looking good, they are professional. You are doing what big business is doing, but sometimes they come to a point where they want to outsource certain things, and they want to give their services to a credible
person, even if your business is small, but they need to see that you are running your business properly. So that's the book that I'm reading, that I would actually recommend to the entrepreneurs out there, because it will change their mindset. A lot of entrepreneurs, especially those that are in the townships, they're thinking that, oh, I'm in a township and then I can run my business like this, without putting in a little bit, a touch of excellence into it, and making sure that they work on their brand, so that their brands can be more representative of what they're talking about, giving big business confidence that if they give you this work, you are going to deliver.
For sure.
I recommend that book highly.
For sure. Thank you very much for that recommendation. And like to the point that you just mentioned right now about us being in the township and thinking that we are not being recognized, or it's something which I'm guilty of.
Yeah.
Myself, I am guilty of that, because like I'm like when I get there, I'll get there. When they come, they'll find me.
Yes.
I understand. I guess it starts now. Doesn't start there.
Right.
It starts now.
Exactly.
So that when I get there, at least I can provide it. Okay, here's my proposal. Here's this, and here's this. And there was a point, so I listened to Vusi a lot.
Wow. Okay.
So there was a point that he mentioned, he would say, we can go to a bank and offer a loan, like a business loan, and they will want a business plan and whatnot. And only to find out what's a business plan, like it's outdated, man. What's your take on that?
I'm on that very same lane. I also tell my students that, because business plan is no longer working. It's not working. It's no longer relevant. I always refer them to a canvas. Yes, I refer them to a business canvas, because a business plan is a waste of time. Sure. Instead of them sitting down writing a business plan, they'd rather write a module for their coaching program. You understand? Or they'd rather write an ebook, even if an ebook is gonna, you see, an ebook doesn't even take long. Ebooks are mostly 20 pages to 40 pages. The maximum could be about 50 pages, but a lot of people like to read ebooks because they are short. Even 10 pages, it's good enough, and you can actually monetize it. You can sell your ebooks. You create an ebook for a particular concept, how to run a successful concept. How to run a successful podcast. You see, even if, and I saw your English is like top notch. When you're communicating with us via email, so you could put together an ebook teaching other young people in the township of Katlehong how to run a successful podcast, even if you are a township boy. You understand? Sure. And all those young people or their parents who want their children to do something, they can buy that ebook. Sure. So I'm saying, instead of actually writing that business plan, trying to get money from the bank, write an ebook that you're going to sell to 2,000 people, and you can get your capital, and then you can go and invest it in the business that you want to do. Yeah.
And speaking of capital, especially in the townships, like you hear this a lot from township, but I guess there's a difference between an entrepreneur and someone who just wants to go into business, because an entrepreneur knows how to make capital, even if there is 0 cent.
Right.
There's 0 cent, you will make sure with I need to make that money. Even if I sell the ebook to 2,000 people. Like you hear a lot of people, maybe when you ask them, man, why don't you go into this? I need capital. Bruh, why are you going to find? Who's going to come and give you 30,000?
Yeah.
Like just sitting here and saying you're waiting for capital. No one's going to do that. I guess that's a topic for another day. So if you're an entrepreneur, like you need to make a plan. We're not even going to discuss it right now. If you're an entrepreneur, you need to make a plan to make sure that you get that capital. No one is going to come and give you.
No one.
No one. No
one is coming.
No one. Forget about it. So we're not even going to talk about that.
No one is coming.
So we have seen from where I got my research, thanks to Sis Polly and yourself, with this 27 years of educational experience in training and development. How do you theoretical and practice knowledge to empower others?
That is very much important, because most of the time we go to school and we never get to practice. That is why when you go to a workplace,
Sure.
they are looking for 3 years or 5 years experience.
Sure.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So theory and practice is very important, and that's why the introduction of learnerships as time goes on. Because
Sure.
if you finish your degree and you go look for a job, and the employer is saying, I want experience, where do you get that experience from? So I've grown that passion for theory and practice being brought together from my experiences when I was working for the CETAs,
Sure.
where we would put learners on a learnership where they have to even find a mentor, within an organization. If let's say for instance, we have a learner at Renew Your Purpose, and this learner is a learner that is coming to do project management. So within Renew Your Purpose, there must be a mentor that is going to help this learner to be able to do projects, to do project planning, to do project scoping, and all of those things. And it's a person, like I said earlier on, it's a person who's experienced in project management. This person is there to give, the organization is there to give the learner, the practical knowledge, and the mentor is there to help this learner to go through that practical knowledge. But then there is the theory part where the learner is going through the theory that is being provided by a service provider or a training provider who's training the learner within the concept of project management, giving the learner theory, and then when they go to the workplace, then they get that practical side of things. So in my coaching, that's what I do all the time. I give people the theory part of things, and then after that I send them out to go and do that particular thing that they have learned. Like I also train coaches.
Sure.
So when I train the coaches, I show them how to coach, the processes, the techniques, the models, and all of that. And I then put them onto an assessment mode where they're now going to put everything that they have learned into practice. So they find pro bono coaching students and they practice on them how to coach, and then they coach each other as well. And after that, they also do an international assessment, which is assessing everything that I've taught them, and then they get the international certification afterwards. So they get the theory from me, and they also do the practical work, and that really helps because now you begin to know exactly what it is to do things practically. Truth be told, when you come from a university and you go to a workplace, you are lost. You've got your degree, but you're lost within that workplace because you don't have an experience. You don't know how to go about doing that. So theory and practice is the best.
For sure. Guys, now mangal next week saying like I'm moving. I'm moving. I am moving here. And speaking of experience and whatnot, you get to a place they want 3 years experience, and now they've introduced leadership like you've mentioned. And don't you think these leadership are exploiting, if I may use the word, exploiting the learner, because it's a leadership and maybe they pay you like almost doing everything that everyone is doing, mara you at a lesser maybe salary or some sort, because they take you in, okay, we're gonna give you this experience, yes, you end up doing everything.
Yeah. First of all, let's talk about the salary. Learners on the learnership get a stipend, not a salary,
yes,
right?
Sure.
Yeah, because you are being offered an opportunity to come and. Yeah, so the stipend, as a learner, you have to be happy and appreciate that you have been given the opportunity to come and learn. You're learning the theory and the practice together, but you are getting paid for that. Remember, when you were at university, nobody was paying you.
Sure.
You were supposed to pay the fees.
The fees, yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
So I think learners should appreciate that. But also, because I ran learnerships, what I found when you go to different organizations to check how the learners are doing and all of that, a lot of learners will be complaining about doing everything, like you were saying. Because if you are on a project management learnership, then you should be doing project management in that place, not admin. I was with the services center, and we also had a learnership on secretarial admin or something like that. So if you are there for secretarial admin, you need to do secretarial work. But most of the time you find that the project manager, is also sending the student to go and buy them lunch and all of those things, and to make them copies of this and that. So this is where now the learner abuse come in, and you find that the learners are not doing well. Those days when we were doing learnerships, it was really quite nice, because we were quality assuring it. We would visit the training provider, we would visit we used to call them the host employers that are hosting the learners. We go and check them and see if the learners are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's not like all the time we would find that the learners are doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing. You'll find that there has been some kind of an abuse somehow, So there is that kind of abuse, but also there is this part where learners must appreciate the learnership, because you're gaining the experience. After that, we used to take it a little bit a step further, and we called it gainful employment, where you have been placed. They can then, if they were happy with you, they can then employ you full time. Then you move from a started to a salary now.
For sure. And there. So there's something I wanted to mention. Mama, she hosts prayer meetings every Friday, 9 a.m. and there's something that you always mention, which is there's nothing powerful as a praying entrepreneur.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes.
So, can you please emphasize, or maybe first
of all, entrepreneurs, please join us every Friday morning, 9 a.m.
Yeah, for sure.
You see, when you are an entrepreneur and you are not praying, business has got challenges.
Sure.
You see, and then the challenges, sometimes they can be so much that you can find yourself giving up on your business, giving up on the business that you love, because of the challenges. I've heard a lot of people saying, I am no longer doing that business because of XYZ. And most of the time is the challenges, the problems that they were facing in that business. So I'm a strong believer in the fact that every single person, everyone, it doesn't matter what businesses are they running, God is the one who dropped that idea. So it is the idea of God.
For sure.
It's God's idea for you to run that business. You're not going to make yourself clever now, because now you're doing a podcast and you think that it's your idea.
It's not a good idea, but God idea.
It's a God idea. And God gave you that idea because He knows everything about you. That is why the Bible says He knew us when we were still in our mother's wombs. You understand? He knew everything about you. He knew the things that you've been through. He knows that you can run a business, a podcast business. But other people, they don't want to pray because they think it's because of their cleverness, it's because of their smartness that they can run the kind of businesses that they are running. So I believe that I still need to go to God with this idea and ask God to direct my path, to direct my steps, to show me what is the next step. And even if my business is challenged, at least when I go to God, I get to understand why am I now going through that rough patch in my business. You understand? So a powerful, a prayerful entrepreneur is a powerful entrepreneur. Because even if you are shaken, you know where to go. You know where to run to. And you know who to ask questions. Some questions are questions that a mere human being cannot answer. But God can answer you. So an entrepreneur must be prayerful.
Get your prayers game up.
Yeah.
Get your prayers game up. Especially now, we are just talking money of chemicals. Everything is coming. So many things are. Apparently, we are in the aquatic era where everything is clear now. From the use of a cell phone, you understand, the use of technology and everything is recorded these days. You understand? We record everything, picture this, you take. So we are living in an aquatic era whereby everything is just visible. So if you are not aware of around wena, if you are not aware of the spirits around wena, and your prayer game is not up, you have another thing coming. You understand? So make sure with your prayer game. Then you are on your own. So last message to our youth. What would you say to someone who's looking at us right now and saying, "Oh, we having it easy," I understand, or maybe, I mean, if you were listening from, she didn't have it easy. She didn't have lentanazo today. You understand? She didn't have this by just scrolling TikTok the whole day. You understand? You have to start somewhere so that we are in a beautiful state, like we are in a, trust me, you understand? I understand. So this doesn't come easy, you understand? And as entrepreneurs, like, mental breakdown, you understand? Mental breakdown, we have a mental breakdown, we have all of these things, so it doesn't come easy. Nothing in life comes easy. I remember I commented in this Friday, but I quit my job again, and it wasn't been easy, and you were like, oh my God, nothing comes easy, you understand? And you were like, God didn't bring us here to have it easy, you understand? Yeah, we have to work for everything in our lives. So last message to the youth, to whether you are youth or whether mama or whether baba, what would you say to them? That one thing that you want them to be, I don't know, like, it must always be in their hearts. What would you say to them?
You know, the first thing that I would say is that find your purpose. Find your purpose, gain clarity of purpose. If you are not sure, come to learn your purpose. Let's work with you and show you how you can gain clarity of purpose. And once you have found your purpose, build your entire life. If you are in business, build your entire life and your business on purpose. Because when your whole life is built on purpose, you find that thing that I love talking about, a deep sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. You know, let your marriage be built on purpose. Let your business be built on purpose. Let your parenting be a purpose-driven parenting. Everything that you do, align it to purpose, and you will see that when things are aligned to purpose, they become much more easier, and you enjoy your life.
Nice and simple. But there is a new day. Purpose. So you word of the day today, purpose. Purpose. Word of the year, word of the week, word of the year. Like purpose. Purpose. So where can people find you? Where can people follow you? And
it's very easy on the social platforms. I think it's easier to find me there. On Instagram, I'm Reigning Your Purpose. On TikTok, I'm Reigning Your Purpose. On Facebook, I'm Reigning Your Purpose with Mabel Baloyi. And also, if you're looking for some inspiration, I'm Pastor Mabel Baloyi, also on Facebook. So I've got 2 pages there. Well, I've got a lot of pages because I also have got the church page on there. And then on YouTube, I'm Mabel Baloyi. So if you want to connect with me, you can just drop me a DM or an inbox. Or if you don't like that, you can send me an email at Reign in Your Purpose. It's RIPA, RIYPA, Reign in Your Purpose Academy at raininyourpurpose.co.za. So it's RIYPA, Reign in Your Purpose Academy at raininyourpurpose.co.za. You can send me an email there and I will have a chat with you.
For sure. Mama, cool man. So guys, I'm moving in. So my son. My son. So just know I'm moving in. So thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. It's been an insightful session. I learned a lot, Nami, and faith. You when we say faith, yeah,
Amen.
you make sure with it. From the first time when I realized, I was like, now I'm eating, like now I'm eating.
Yeah.
I understand. Now
Mm.
and it's like you think which you're going there for entrepreneur. Baba, we are in church, Baba. We are in church, Baba. We're not there to know. We're not there to talk entrepreneurship. No. We are in church. As entrepreneurs, we come there, we pray. Like topics or guidelines or discussions that are now, you understand that she talks about it. We engage comments and whatnot. So be sure to join in every Friday at 9 a.m. It's only an hour, I mean.
Yes.
Only an hour.
Pray for your
9 to
business.
10, you understand? So make sure you tune in. It's Dr. Mabel on YouTube. Yeah, it's Dr. Mabel Baloyi on YouTube. So yeah, make sure you tune in on that. My last message to you guys, your story is very much important. You understand? Story circle, it's important. Never take maybe an episode of your story and maybe shove it there, which is born maybe after 20 years. No. Today's episode taught me about some story, personal. You understand? My story is very important, and it made me who I am today. You understand? And as Mama Shiri would say, this story said to see it's like a guide to your purpose. You understand? So from me to you guys, love and peace, and pray, stay prayed up, pray.
Yes.
So peace, my faith. Until next time, same place. And as you know, my faith, sisukile Spreti, sise Bosbeck namhlanje eBrakpan, sise Brakpan, this wonderful estate. Sizophandisa eBrakpan. From me to you, signing out. Thank you very much, man.